We are here today 70 years and one day since the end of World War II to honor the memory and contributions of those who served during World War II, including the women and men here on the home front. Join me in a moment of silence to remember those who are no longer with us, except in spirit and in our hearts. All right, today we are specifically honoring the women, Rosies. Woohoo! All of you! Who played such a significant role during that period in our nation's history. To quote Marion Suzay, draftsman, not draftsperson, by the way, draftsman, at Shipyard Number 3 here in Richmond, I specifically didn't do anything great, but I participated in something that was great. The work these women did not only led to the successful conclusion of the war, but also showed the nation and the world the abilities women have to do anything. Many of us would not be in the positions we are in today without you as role models and as examples. And I would like anybody who worked as a Rosie during World War II to please raise your hand or stand up. Thank you. So at this point in time, I would like to introduce Robert Corpus from the Spirit of 45, who is going to introduce some very special people who are going to present us with a very special gift. Robert.
Thank you, Sue. We have 45 minutes, right? Oh no, 45 seconds? That what we're down to? We'll keep it really short. And like Sue said, 70 years ago today, at this exact hour, millions of men and women were waking up from their hangovers across the country. Yesterday was the 70th anniversary when that famous picture of a sailor being kissed by a nurse in World War II was taken in Times Square. And I think they're walking around here somewhere, the sailor and nurse. They're around here somewhere. You'll probably see them. They're perfectly preserved, and they look like they never didn't age a bit. But in 1945, the war came to an end, and exactly 70 years ago today, this extra headline was published in the San Francisco Chronicle. It was the Victory Extra Edition that says peace. And just to give you a snapshot of what that day must have sounded, what it sounded like, they wrote, the end of the long haul came at 4:00 p.m. yesterday afternoon, literally 70 years ago yesterday, and the city went wild. Split seconds after the word of the war's end was flashed from the White House, the celebration started. And the headline was, "A city goes wild and nobody cares." Now, in a couple of years will be the 75th anniversary. So we have 5 years to another milestone. But my challenge to everybody here is that after we leave today, after we break the record here, what are we going to do next year? Are we going to wait another 5 years? Or should we make this an annual thing? And I think World War II was a very historical movement, a foundation for a lot of things, but also for the women's movement. It took 20 years in the 60s for women power to come to catch up to the sacrifices and the example that so many women did during World War II, that it's appropriate that we're going to be unveiling a statue here, honoring but also inspiring the younger generation. I see there's a lot of young people. There's a young lady here who must be 6, 7 years old. But the whole thing this year is to remember and to be inspired. With that, I'd like to introduce John, who's going to introduce our guest, our special Rosie the Riveter, who flew all the way. Her arms are very tired. She flew all the way in from Long Beach. but to introduce her properly is going to be her grandson, John Perry.
Hello, everybody. This is my grandma. She is the oldest working Rosie the Riveter in the world. And the reason why she's still not building airplanes at this very moment is because the plant closed. Else she'd still be working. My grandma Eleanor Otto started in Chula Vista at the Roar Aircraft Company in January 15th, 1942. And she continued to work there it started at Ryan in 1951, and then started at Boeing in 1965, where she worked 49.5 years until she was 95 years old.
I'm the oldest one here. I know.
So she actually was laid off, can you imagine? November 21st of 2014. You were laid off because the plant's closing. So, and in all her spunkiness and all her stuff, here she is. You're supposed to make your speech. You want me to go get it?
This generation should know that women can do anything if given the opportunity. And we've done it. We're still doing it. And us Rosies, are so proud because they tell us that we paved the way for these women to be in jobs now. I mean, CEO jobs, all kinds of jobs they didn't think we could do. So we're all proud of that, I know. And to see all you Rosies, I don't know how many Rosies and how many rosebuds or whatever. I see all the young people, they got to be rosebuds. So I don't know how many Rosies are here, really. Quite a few, I guess. But not too many. Everybody looks young to me. At my age, everybody looks young. But anyway, it's wonderful to be here with all of you. And with I don't remember wearing something like this. Did you? Did you wear it during the war? Anybody that worked during the war, did you wear it? I didn't. I didn't. But I guess they had. That was okay. But that looks nice. It looks nice. And all those people. So many people came. It's just so wonderful. I was recently in a convention of the Rosies. Did any of you come to the convention here? You did? Okay. Oh! Hi! Oh! You guys went to Washington? Those are the guys who went to Washington. Yeah! And they met Obama and the vice president. Yeah, real proud. We saw those pictures. It was cute. Yeah. I'm going to Washington again in November on the Veterans Ball. I was there last year, and it was wonderful, talking to all the veterans. It was just so much fun. I could hardly wait to go again. Oh, we have? Okay. We have a plane to catch. Okay. Much love to all of you. I'm so glad to be here with all of you. I love you all. Brings back so many memories. Love you.
One of the things that has come because of the popularity and the history of Rosie the Riveter is that we have, and we will be unveiling in just a couple minutes, a statue or sculpture that was created by Seward Johnson, the same individual who created the KISS statue, which is in a few places around the country. And it's a statue of Rosie. So, do you want to go down and So if you would turn your attention over to the statue over here, and Eleanor and a few other folks are going to help unwrap that, and then there will be fun opportunities later on. After we set the record, do not leave the area, please, for you to take selfies with this new sculpture, which has been donated to the National Park Service. So go ahead and do the unveil. The intent of this statue is that it will live at the Rosie the Riveter Visitor Center here in Richmond for periods of time over the year. And at other times it will actually be traveling around the country to different events, different rallies, in different places where Rosie's made such a contribution to the United States. And so you'll see it sometimes, and other times it'll be off traveling around the country. And that's being coordinated through the Spirit of 45. I think they wrapped it really, really well. Okay, for those of you that are standing right in front of the statue, if you could move aside so that everybody that's in the record area can actually see this statue. And it will be here for the rest of the day today. All right. So very exciting. All right, I know that the sun is hot, and so I'm going to keep on moving with the program. We have many people who have made this event and this park possible. I would first like to recognize the staff from U.S. Congressman Mark DeSaulnier's office, Contra Costa District Supervisor John Joya, the City of Richmond, the Rosie Trust, the Spirit of 45, the American Rosie the Riveter Association, including Gail and Katie Morrow, who were a lot of the impetus behind this, thank you, and National Park Service Acting Deputy Regional Director Tom Leatherman, who's my boss, so I have to thank him. The We Can Do It spirit of our National Park staff and volunteers, including Elizabeth Tucker, Lead Park Ranger, Allison Joyce, Student Conservation Association Centennial Coordinator, and Kieran Slaughter, National Park Service Urban Fellow, have led to this day. The current record, in case you don't know, for the greatest number of individuals dressed up as Rosies since World War II is held in Ypsilanti, Michigan, where they successfully hosted a rally to save a portion of the Willow Run bomber plan. We hope, and I think we've done it, to beat their record of 776 individuals today. Woo! However, we have a process that we have to go through to actually get that record approved by Guinness, and I'll explain that in a couple minutes. But before setting a new record, I'd like to ask Bill Lindsay, the Richmond City Manager, to say a few words on behalf of the city. Thank you, Bill.